I am Julia May Bastillo, currently taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Science second year, Section N1. The question is, are you an ethical person? When we say ethical person, that person knows in taking responsibility, obeying rules, respectful, honest, and more. In short, a person who has good moral standards. And so I could say, I am an ethical person. I have a strong sense of obligation. And when someone corrects my mistake, I celebrate because it makes me a better person, woman, daughter, citizen, student, especially a servant of God. And when I come across difficulties with my values, I don't hide. I take a big breath and begin making modest modifications until I reach an ethical point where I am at ease. Morality and ethics have been a large part of my life today as a working student and child, learning how to live ethically from the people I looked up to and through my time as a future educator focusing on bringing ethics into my practice. There have been many instances in my life where I have had to make ethical choices, and because of this, I have grown into a more moral person. Because both positive moral decisions and moments where I have let my ethics dissipate because of a situation have allowed me to define my moral code. Society and their values also have had a very large impact on how I have developed as an ethical human and have been a big reason as to why I have broke some of my ethical barriers. I have had many struggles approaching moral dilemmas because I do have a tendency to avoid confrontation and conflict. In my role as a future educator, I have had more of an opportunity to impact my students ethically, and because of this, I have had an opportunity to learn a great deal about my morals. And even from a young age, my parents had a focus in making sure I knew the difference between right and wrong. There are multiple incidents that I remember where I had to deal with ethical dilemmas during my youth, and through the use of my parents' teachings, I was able to navigate adolescence with a strong moral compass. Allowing a situation to devolve into physical violence can cause an ethical dilemma for many because it brings in the issue of self-preservation against the preservation of another. Self-reflection is another part that has made me a moral person and has helped me develop my ethical code, and in my opinion, the act of looking back on the choices you have made in particularly difficult situations is the most effective way of developing a strong moral code. The more time I have spent looking back on my actions, the more confident I have felt about my decisions the next time a similar situation has arisen. This has been very important to me. However, when I look at some of the situations where I do not believe I acted in a moral fashion, I have made an effort to correct people who do use derogatory language, such as homophobic, transphobic, or racial slurs. And this moral change came about for me because of my experiences growing up and through the people I know and look up to, as well as through looking back on times where I may have acted in an immoral fashion. Although this has been a brief summary of significant events in my life that have shaped me morally, I believe it gives insight into who I am as an ethical being. And I have definitely had lapses in the ethical structure of my life, but through the use of self-reflection and my mistakes, I believe I have made a large majority of my choices with my sense of morality in mind. Overall, I hope to continue growing my morally and my ability to stand up for my ethics, moving into the career of being a future teacher I believe that I should have my morality more firm than ever because there will be many new situations which challenge my ethics and cause me to reassess how I should be conducting myself. That's all. Thank you.